So, what does the future actually look like according to Mark Zuckerberg? Well, based on a pretty revealing new interview, we're going to break down the wild sci-fi vision Meta is spending hundreds of billions to build. We're talking everything from holographic glasses to a super personal AI. Let's dive in.
It all kicks off with this quote. And it's more than just a cool movie reference. It's the perfect way to anchor a vision that can feel, well, a little out there. It grounds Meta's whole plan in something we can all picture. Amazing technology that just seamlessly fits into our lives. Okay, so if you're going to build a Tony Stark future, where do you even start? For Meta, the foundation has been a solid decade of work on one really groundbreaking piece of hardware.
And let's be super clear, we're not just talking about glasses that show you notifications. Nope, this is a tiny, powerful computer on your face that can project full three-dimensional holograms right into the room with you. Just imagine a meeting where your coworker shows up as a full-body hologram you can actually walk around and talk to. That's the goal here, to create the next big computing platform after the smartphone.
But here's the thing, right? This futuristic hardware, it's really just the vehicle. It's the tool for a much, much bigger mission. And that mission really boils down to two core ideas that are driving every single thing Meta is building. And those two big ideas are social presence and personalized AI. One is all about recreating that feeling of being physically right there with someone else. The other is about creating an intelligence that truly understands you and your environment. So let's unpack them. First up, social presence. Zuckerberg actually calls this the Holy Grail. And for good reason. It's not just seeing someone on a screen. It's that deep gut feeling that you are actually in the same space with them. It's that magic that a video call just can't capture. And that feeling is the core emotional target for all of this VR and mixed reality tech.
Then you've got personalized AI. And no, we're not just talking about asking some generic chatbot a question. The vision here is for an AI that has real-world context, because it can see what you see and hear what you hear. And that's exactly why glasses are the perfect device for it. They basically give senses to an AI so it can become a genuinely useful assistant in your day-to-day life.
So, that's the big vision. But how on earth do you get this kind of technology to billions of people? Well, the strategy isn't to build just one single device, but a whole spectrum of them.
It's really a tiered approach. So at the entry level, you've got the Ray-Ban Metas, which are basically a screen-free AI assistant. Then, you step up to a future heads-up display for simple stuff like texts or directions. Moving up from there, you get to the high-end holographic glasses for that real feeling of social presence. And at the very top, you have the Quest headsets, packing the most power for serious mixed reality and gaming. Each one serves a totally different purpose and, of course, a different price point.
And this right here is the crucial point behind the whole strategy. It's all about accessibility. The goal isn't just to build amazing tech, but to keep pushing and innovating until it's affordable for pretty much everyone. I mean, look at the Quest 3 headset. It delivered high-end mixed reality for a tiny fraction of what competitors were charging. That philosophy is totally central to their plan.
Okay, all this tech sounds incredible, but what does it actually mean for us as humans? As we start building these new digital realities, what happens to our connections in the physical one?
To really get the why behind this whole push, you have to look at this data. It's kind of stark, actually. Over the last 20 years, the amount of time American adults spend socializing in person has dropped by almost a third. And for young people, it's even worse. There's a real, measurable distance growing between us.
Which, of course, brings us to the central question. Is this kind of technology part of the problem, or could it actually be part of the solution? Can it help us feel closer to the people we're already physically far away from?
And that's where we just hit a very, very human wall. This quote from Zuckerberg himself really grounds the entire futuristic vision. Because despite this huge goal of perfect presence, there are some things technology just can't replace yet, like the simple feeling of a hug. Haptics, the technology of touch, is just incredibly difficult.
So the argument isn't that this tech is supposed to replace your time with the people who are right there with you. Not at all. It's that it will enrich your connection with, say, your sister who lives across the country, or your parents who live in another state, people you already can't be with physically. It's all about supplementing, not replacing.
All right, the final piece of this whole puzzle is AI. Because underlying all of this hardware and this big social vision are two absolutely massive, high-stakes bets on the future of artificial intelligence itself.
The first bet is strategic, open source versus closed source. While some companies are keeping their AI models locked down tight, Meta is betting big on open source. And the argument is that open is ultimately safer. Why? Well, because when more people can look under the hood and inspect the code, flaws and security risks get found and fixed way faster. Plus, it creates a whole diverse ecosystem of tools instead of one controlled by a single company.
But the second bet, man, this one is even bigger. It's a fundamental question about the tech itself. For the last few years, we've seen that if you just make AI models bigger, give them more data, more computing power, they get smarter. But will that trend continue forever, or is it going to hit a wall? And that right there is the gamble. Meta is investing hundreds of billions of dollars in infrastructure, basically betting that yes, these AI models will just keep getting better and better for the foreseeable future. It's a massive, high-stakes bet that could really define the next decade of technology.
So there you have it. From holographic glasses that aim to bring people closer to these huge bets on the future of AI, this is the vision. The thing is, this technology isn't science fiction anymore. It's actively being built right now. And that leaves all of us with the ultimate question. As this new world comes into focus, how will we choose to live in it?